Hello, YouTube. Ronan Kazi, Ghost, Recon, Wildlands. Wow. Love this game. It's a fantastic game. That's going to be behind what we're talking about today. We're still talking about problem solving and a couple more facets to problem solving. Main way to solve a problem, the main way to tackle it is by asking why. And we talked about in the last video not to ask why infinitely, because you'll go down all these different rabbit holes. Might be good to jot down notes or interesting things, but that'll be paralysis through analysis. It's just too many whys. So we talked about asking why, doing a Pareto or a probability of what the problem could be. And now we're going to talk about the third part of this, and it's called a Gemba walk. If you know anything about the Toyota management system for quality, they do a thing, they have a whole language behind what they do. And really, a Gemba walk is more than a walk. What does this mean for you as a problem solver? It means, in most cases, you have to go where the problem is. This is another one of the pillars of problem solving. It seems obvious to me, but it's not obvious to everyone. Sometimes this could be construed as attempting to do the activity yourself. A quick way to make problems visible to everyone is to perform the problem activities for themselves. More activities that are in the vein of going to the Gemba are calling the customer, processing and responding to Net Promoter Metrics, recording the actual processes that need improvements, trying to duplicate reported bugs, etc. A Gemba or Gemba walk distills this idea. So what does that mean? To try to problem solve something without actually seeing it or without doing it is folly. You can do it as a mental exercise, but to actually see the process, to actually do it, helps invariably. Now, this isn't the main point of problem solving. The main point of problem solving is asking why. Then the next function of problem solving is to do this kind of probability. Don't go too much. And a third lesser portion, as we get into these other portions of problem solving, a Gemba walk, or going to the source where value is created, going to where the problem is, trying the actual process, is a great way to solve problems, part of your toolkit. I'll give you an example. When I first tried to live stream, my son came over and tried to help me, and he was like, well, just click this button. Well, just click this button. And that kind of misses the point, because that's not troubleshooting. When I went to A school in the military for electronics technician, they called that Easter egging. You just pick a problem anywhere, and then you're hoping you find it, like you find an Easter egg. And that's not very helpful. I'm going to go to another part of problem solving. So we talked about three. Again, the main one is why. The next one down is some type of, when is enough enough? Don't go too deep into it. Third, we just talked about Gemba walk, going to where the problem is, maybe reproducing the problem. The fourth is pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is recognizing shared characteristics between ideas and objects. Through this understanding, pattern recognition, and use in real-life problem solving, objects can be sorted and problems may be quickly solved. Pattern recognition is a complementary, albeit important, tool for problem solving. Where asking why uncontrollably leads to problems, pattern recognition has its own pitfalls. While you can quickly determine the problem from the data presented as compared to past matching patterns, you can also profile a problem that isn't really there. Used solely to problem solve, pattern recognition is fraught with peril, but used in problem-solving ensemble, it is invaluable. So what does that mean? Well, that's exactly profiling is, in some cases, is a quick way to deduce things through problem solving, through pattern recognition, but it also can lead you astray, right? So you have to put all of these things together. Have you ever wondered why someone will talk in percentages or they'll talk in whole numbers, but they don't talk in both? The reason they don't talk in both, this is speeded up a little bit. I'm driving in the van now. The reason they don't talk in both areas is because then you really know what the data says. So if someone, does something, but it's only 1% of the thing, it doesn't mean anything. I had 23 right answers out of how many? What percentage was that? Well, out of 100, that's horrible. 23 right answers out of 25 is great. So that's why those two things, the percentage and the whole number, or the what has happened, are good. And that's why you can't just do pattern recognition. You have to use some intelligence in this. And finally, we're going to talk about boxes, 6-sided boxes. Boxes have 6 sides. Most problems are multifaceted, at least the cause of them are. Otherwise, when the solution is blatantly obvious, it's easily fixed. A problem isn't low-hanging fruit. Let's not confuse continuous improvement with problem solving. The root of the problem is something is not expected, not wanted, not predicted. The things that are obvious are not problems. One of the characteristics of a problem is that one of the causes is hidden. So the idea that a box has 6 sides is an easy analogy to visualize. A problem has more than one vector. Part of a problem solving is discovering the various vectors and making sure you find the right root cause. During training I once received, they taught us to search for sources of fires on a flooding, sources of fires or flooding on a ship. Your uninitiated thought defaults to thinking in 2 dimensions when the problem is a 3-dimensional problem. Extrapolate this out to things beyond the immediate area or outside of the present temporal reality. Air pollution and water pollution are insidious because the polluters can be miles away from the causative effects of the pollution. Some problems occur over time, local, but may be caused regionally or globally. So that kind of sums up and I'm parking and I'm backing up, sums up your problem-solving toolkit, why, enough is enough, Gemba walk, pattern recognition, and boxes. Now let's get to some gameplay. So Wildlands is great. Ghost Recon Breakpoint is great because you can drive. The story in Wildlands was controversial when it first came out. I'm not going to go into that. You can look into that. But it's a video game. What I liked about always Ghost Recon, I've been playing Ghost Recon for a long time. I think the first one, I don't know what the first one, I played a long time. We'll go with my kids. It was an easy game wasn't easy. Back in the day, nothing was easy to multiplayer, but I would go to LAN parties and we'd play Ghost Recon, and it was fun. If you like Destiny 2, if you like The Division, if you like The Division 2, if you like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, if you like those types of games, you're going to really like Ghost Recon Wildlands. There's a progression part of it. So it's a little bit like an RPG. You level up and you get different, you can unlock different attributes. Excuse me, one of my favorites to do in here was to parachute, is to get up in a helicopter, go as high as I could go, and then just jump out and parachute. I loved it in this game. You drive boats. Your teammates can take things out with like a coordinated kind of shot situation. Yeah, you'll see me set that up here. You can both stealth and you can both stealth and just brute force it. There's a mechanic in the game. There's an enemy that's really tough that keeps calling in reinforcements. This is the drug cartel I'm going against. The armed forces of the country are purple. You'll eventually get some, as you help different factions, you'll get help from the rebels, and they're green. So that was my drone, taking a look at things. I'm going to hit Q, and that's for on a keyboard. That's going to mark one of the guys. Maybe I shot that guy. You collect resources. Resources are part of the currency you need to upgrade your character. Why do I like this game? We just talked about problem solving in the last two videos. It presents problems, three-dimensional problems, and part of it is approaching an enemy. Part of it is evading watches. Part of it is resource management. So that's why these games are kind of fun, because they have a whole variety of things that they get you into. Resource to my left here. I'm going to grab it. This is normally when I ask you to like, subscribe, share, hit the notifications. You may not like all these different games I'm playing, and that's okay. It's for a wide variety of people, but I will tell you that all these games I'm playing are really fun. These versions of Wildlands and The Division 1 were great games. The sequels were good games, but they were a little bit different. Storytelling not as good. Although having the Walking Dead Punisher guy in Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Breakpoint was great. That's a great game as well. Going to just give a call out if you're interested in ever playing with me. I play with a couple fellow YouTubers, Sloth Moods and Ultimate Shield, and we're coming up to Season 21 in Destiny 2. We'd sure love to have you come over. Hopefully we can power level you up till you get to a point where you feel good. Although I think they're changing the season where it won't really matter. So we would like to raid and do those kind of things. If that's something you're interested in, progressions, getting better, grouping with people, maybe having some of your gameplay out on the internet. If you need help trying to learn how to do all this, I'm sure we'd all love to help you do that. But it's an invite to everyone. Appreciate everyone in the community that has subscribed, liked, or shared all the content. And I'm just looking to put out more. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day, YouTube. Bye.
Go on. Then you can see what we do to people who fuck with us. People like you.